What's going on, ballers, and welcome back to some AWA Wiffle Ball. We're here in beautiful Edmonds, Washington. I'm your host, Mark Campanero, captain of the Pacific Pilots. We're here for a 3-game series between the Southern Stingers and the Eastern Enforcers. Let's get right into it. Dingers or nothing, baby.
Gone! Grand slam! Gap, what a play! Deep! Gone! Deep! Deep! Gone! Grand slam! The Stingers take game 2 in the gap. What a play! Peter McNeil!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AWA Wiffle Ball between the Eastern Enforcers and Southern Stingers on June 2nd, 5:45. Looking at the standings, both teams are at the bottom of their divisions, and the Enforcers, their star player Jake Oliver, will be out today. This could be a difficult game for both teams. Looking at the home team, the Southern Stingers late ad Jake McNeil will be plopped in front of the order. Has no hits in the year, except he does third in the league with on-base percentage, as he is a walking machine. Cole Blevins hitting 125, Colin McCanny hitting 125. Both look to turn it around, where Peter McNeil and Brendan Davis look to continue to lead the offense for the Southern Stingers. Looking at the away team, the Eastern Enforcers, Captain Jake Oliver, the big story today, will not be here as he has a disc golf tournament. Hits .529 on the year with 2 home runs. That'll be a big loss for the Enforcers offense. Look to lean on Brock Blaus and Gunnar Whitelaw, who broke up a perfect game last week against the Northern Nighthawks and really turned it on, hitting 2 home runs with 5 RBIs.
Deep! That is a grand slam. Jack Playhouse not ready to go home today. Deep! Gone! Deep! Gone! Walk off! Gone! Grand slam! Playable in the gap. What a play! What a play! Peter McNeil!
That's a huge blow for them. How are you and the squad feeling going into tonight's matchup?
We're feeling real confident. I was looking forward to playing Mr. And so I think we're going to hit well today. I think our offense is going to get going finally. I think it's going to be the spark that we need.
Perfect, Peter. Well, you and the Stingers have had a couple of tough 3-game series to start off the season. You're last in your division currently. What adjustments are you looking to make heading into today's series against the Stingers, or against the Enforcers?
Well, we just need to, get our offense going, and that's going to be the biggest thing. If we get our offense going, I think we're going to be winning these games. Our pitching's been, locked down. Cole's been a solid number 2 for us, so I think we're gonna be getting some dubs today.
I love it, Peter. I love it. Well, hey, good luck to you and the Stingers tonight, and how are you feeling heading into this series against the Stingers? What are you guys going to do to help make up for his offense?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think a lot of teams come out here with the intention of going straight to the ship. We are taking every game, game by game, not looking that forward into the future. We're just here to win today, and yeah.
There we go. Good deal, Brock. Well, your team is also at the bottom of the division currently. How are you feeling heading into this matchup against the Stingers? What adjustments are you going to make heading into the series?
Well, today's the day we're going to start hitting some dingers. Obviously, it's a warm out. Air density is high, so the ball's not going to have a lot of movement, so we're going to be setting just nukes over this wall. So, that's what we're going to do.
Hey, there we go. You heard it here first. Nukes over the fence. A lot of dingers going to be happening here today, folks. All right, back to you. I'm your host, Mark Campanero, captain of the Pacific Pilots. We're here in beautiful Edmonds, Washington, watching the Southern Stingers play against the Eastern Enforcers tonight. Unfortunately, the Enforcers will be without their team captain, Jake Oliver, but we'll see if the Enforcers can come back from their 3-game sweep that they previously had against the defending World Series champions, Northern Nighthawks. Starting on the mound today for the Stingers, we're going to have Peter McNeil leading it off. For the Enforcers, Drew Williams will lead it off for the Enforcers. Again, for those of you who are just joining us on TikTok, please go ahead and head over to YouTube. We have the game live streamed over on YouTube. If you ever get confused about what the score is going to be or anything like that, all your problems will be solved over on YouTube. We have a scoreboard and everything, player interviews. It's going to be great. You'll get to see multiple camera angles. But anyways, let's get right into it. Score is 0-0 here in the top of the first. Drew Williams is going to lead it off. The 0-0. It's going to miss high. Count is now 1-0 here to Drew Williams. The 1-0. Just a bit inside. 2-0 now the count. 2-0. Peter's going to start him off here 3-0. Are we going to see a walk for the first at-bat of the game here? Absolutely not. Peter comes back with a great strike right there. 3-1 now the count. The real question is Drew going to swing the bat here? No, absolutely not. He's going to take that walk. The Enforcers are going to start it off with a runner on first. No outs here in the top of the first. And now we're going to have interim team captain Brock Blehaus come up to the plate. For those of you who have just joined us over here on TikTok, Jake Oliver, team captain, is out today. Oh, Peter starts him off with a great strike right there. 0-1 the count. Hits the bat. That's a foul ball. 1-1 now the count. Peter has been known to be incredible at hitting the bat on players' shoulders. 2-1 now the count. I don't know if you guys have seen that video of Peter hitting Alex Harden. Bat on his shoulder struck him out on 3 pitches last season. 1-2 now the count to Brock Blehaus. That was a great pitch from Peter McNeil. Just kidding, Chad. That's a strikeout. Great pitch from Peter McNeil there. I was testing everybody, making sure that everybody else was paying attention. I was quickly told that I was wrong. All right, and up comes Chase Winkler. Starts him off 1-0. The score here in the top of the first is 0-0. There's 1 out. Enforcers have a runner on first. 2-0 now here to Chase Winkler. 2-0. Gets him with a strike right there. 2-1 now the count. Peter looking pretty good here thus far. And a foul ball back. 2-2 here now the count to Chase Winkler. Again, for those of you joining us here on TikTok, if you're able to, please head on over to YouTube. We have a live stream going on over there where you can see the score, scoreboard, runners on, and everything. So all your questions will be answered over on YouTube. 2-2. Strikes him out looking. Great pitch from Peter McNeil. There are now 2 outs in the inning here. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Peter McNeil. One and 0 now. Gunnar Whitelaw is at the dish. For all of those of you wondering, the link for the YouTube is in the bio. Great pitch from Peter McNeil right there. Again, the score is 0-0 here in the top of the first. That was a ball, hit Gunnar right there. The Enforcers have a runner on here. Gunnar Whitelaw at the dish. Cranks that. That's going to be foul, though. Just missed the foul pole. Count is 2-2. In play, that's deep, and that's going to be in the gap. Drew's going to score, and Whitelaw is going to be safe at second in with a double. An RBI double there for Gunnar Whitelaw. Great way to start off the inning here for the Enforcers. Great piece of hitting there from Gunnar Whitelaw. We have 2 outs here in the top of the first. 1-0 is the score. Enforcers are up. Drew Williams is now at the dish. The count is 1-0. 1-0 the count to Drew. 2-0 now the count. Again, for all those of you who are joining in on TikTok, please go ahead and head on over to YouTube. We have a live stream going over on YouTube as well where you can see the scoreboard, you can see the score, everybody on base, what inning it is, and all of your questions will be answered over there. There is a link in the bio for the YouTube channel to go check it out, live streamed over there. Drew's going to have a 2-0 count here. 3-0 now here to Drew. Drew did walk earlier in the inning. 3-0. And he's going to walk again. 2 walks in the inning for Drew. Peter does have 2 strikeouts in the inning. And that's going to bring up interim team captain Brock Playhouse. 1-0 now to Brock. For those of you wondering why Brock is the interim team captain, it's because the Enforcers captain Jake Oliver is out tonight. He has a disc golf tournament. 2-0 now to Brock. Yes, I know. Unfortunately, Jake did choose disc golf over wiffle ball tonight. 2-1 now the count here to Brock. We'll see how the Enforcers can make up for Jake's incredible pitching as well as his great offense. So far, so good for the Enforcers as they're up 1-0 here in the top of the first. There's 2 outs. They have runners on first and second. Strike 3, got him looking. Great pitch from Peter McNeil. Peter gets 3 strikeouts in that inning, and Peter is pitching great so far. The Enforcers did get 1, though, in that inning. So their offense is not looking too bad here tonight. We're expecting to see a lot of dingers here. Again, the Enforcers don't have Jake Oliver here tonight, so the pitching for the Enforcers is going to look kind of interesting. Brock is going to start it off, though, for the Enforcers. We'll see how they can do. Again, for those of you who have not heard yet, we do have a live stream going on over at YouTube, over on our YouTube channel. Link is in the bio. There are scoreboards, multiple camera angles. You'll be able to see stats, division leaders, and everything. It's going on over there. It's a great, great live stream. We're good. We're good to go. Let's get it, Brock. And Jake McNeil up at the dish. Starts him off 1-0. Jake McNeil is known as the walking legend. He just walks all the time, gets on base. 2-0 now the count. Jake is working his magic up there right now. Again, the score is 1-0 Enforcers. 3-0. 1-0 Enforcers here in the bottom of the second. And that's a strike there from Brock Playhouse. He will not throw fuller balls. 3-1 now the count here to Jake McNeil, also known as the walking legend. The 3-1. Ooh. Great pitch there from Brock Playhouse. 3-2 full now. We'll see if Jake decides to swing the bat here on the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Oh, there he goes. Little smirk to the camera. Nope. Jake is going to work his magic, and he's going to get on for the Stingers to start the inning off for them. And now we're going to have number 8 for the Stingers, Brendan Davis, come up to bat. We'll see if Brendan can get this offense going for the Stingers here. Brendan's still looking for his first home run here in the 2021 season. We'll see if he can do it now. The 0-0. Oh, Brock looking good. Great pitch from Brock Playhouse right there. 0-1 now. In play, but that's going to be made by Gunnar. Gunnar makes a great play, and he's going to double Jake up. Not good base running out there from Jake McNeil, unfortunately. Great play from Gunnar Whitelaw out there in center. And the Enforcers are going to have 2 outs here quick. And that's going to bring up team captain, all-star pitcher, Peter McNeil. See what he can do here against Brock Blehaus. We got 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, and Forsters are leading 1-0. Brock's going to start him off there with a crazy pitch. 1-0 is the count. The 1-0 from Brock. Oh, Peter thought about it, but he did not go around. 2-0 now the count. 2-0 here to Peter. Strike. Swung at that one. 2-1 now the count here to Peter MC McNeil. 3-1 now the count here to Peter. The 3-1. Walked him. Good at bat there from Peter McNeil. Draws the walk, and that's going to bring up number 25, Colin McCanny, to the dish for his first at bat of the day. We'll see what Colin can do here against Brock. Score here is 1-0 in the bottom of the first, and Forsters are leading. And Brock's going to start him off with a great pitch right there. 0-1 here the count. Oh, just misses high there. 1-1 now the count to Colin McCanny. Hits the bat. Foul ball. Great pitch from Brock Blehaus. 1-2 now the count to Colin. 2-2 the count. It's tough out here, folks. You got to get that bat down when it's coming towards you. You never know. You never know. Brock has now done that twice in this inning. Walks him. The Stingers now have runners on first and second, 2 outs here in the inning. We're here in the bottom of the first, and Forsters are leading 1-0, and that's going to bring up number 13, Cole Blevins, to the plate.
Can we get some balls?
Might need to have somebody collect some balls here. To stop any delays that we'll have in the game here today. Cole Blevins is coming up to bat here for the Stingers. Runners on first and second. The 0-0 starts him off 1-0 here to Cole. 1-0 now. And that is ball 2, 2-0 now the count. Forsters are leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. 3-0 now here to Cole. 3 straight balls from Brock. And he's going to walk him on 4 pitches there. The bases are now loaded. And that's going to bring up the walking legend, Jake McNeil, number 9. Score again is 1-0 here in the bottom of the first, and Forsters are leading. For those of you who are just joining us on TikTok, just wanted to let everybody know that we do have a live stream going on over on our YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. Great production over there. You will have a scoreboard, and all your answers or questions will be asked over there. Going to start Jake off with a first pitch strike, 0-1 the count. 1-1 now the count here to Jake. The 1-1. 2-1 now here the count to Jake. Hit the bottom of the zone. The count is now 2-2. Great pitch there from Brock Blehaus. The 2-2 here to Jake. Just misses the bat. 3-2 full now here to Jake. And that's going to be ball 4. Brock is going to walk in a run. The score is now tied here 1-1 here in the bottom of the first. And that's going to bring up Brendan Davis to the plate. 1-1 is the score. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Bases are loaded here for Brendan Davis, who is still looking for his first home run here of the 2021 season. Brock's going to start him off 1-0. 1-0 now the count. Fouled off right there. 1-1 now the count here to Brendan. Just misses the bottom of the zone right there. 2-1 now the count here. 3-1 now the count to Brendan. Brock did just walk in the last run. Will he do it again? It's going to hit Brendan right on the back. It's going to walk in another run. The score is now 2-1. Stingers are leading here in game 1 of the 3-game series. Team captain for the Enforcers, Jake Oliver, is out today for a disc golf tournament. So the Enforcers are starting Brock Blehouse, the interim team captain here in the first. 0-0 to Peter McNeil now. Brock starts him off with a great pitch right there. 0-1 now the count. 1-1 now the count here to Peter McNeil. 2-1 now here the count to Peter. Score is 2-1. Stingers are leading in the bottom of the first. The Enforcers do have 2 outs though. Fouled it off. 2-2 now the count here to Peter. The 2-2. Just misses high. That's going to go to 3-2 full here to Peter. 3-2 the count. The bases are loaded. Brock has walked in 2 runs in this inning. Ball 4 walks him. That's another run in this inning. The score is now 3-1. Stingers are leading. And Brock's going to pull himself out here in the bottom of the first, and he's going to bring in Chase Winkler in relief. We're going to give Chase a couple of tosses here so he can get his command right. Colin McCanney will be the first batter he faces. Again, for those of you who are just joining us over here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going where you can see the score, a scoreboard, multiple camera angles, player interviews, stats, and more over on YouTube. The link for that is in the bio. Go check it out. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Now Chase Winkler is pitching now here to call him. 0-0 is the count. Starts him off with a strike. 0-1 now. 1-1 now the count. We have bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. 1-2 now the count here to Collins, swinging at an outside pitch right there. Strike 3, got him looking. Great pitch from Chase Winkler. Brock made a great decision right there, pulling himself out. Chase gets the easy out there, limits the damage. 3-1 the score here. Stingers are leading here in the top of the second.
What's the score?
3-1. 3-1 is the score. What? Ask the scoreboard manager. I'm pretty sure you guys only have one.
Alex, you know the score?
3-1. Yeah. Again, for those of you just joining us here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube 0-2 now the count. Oh, tried a different windup there. Did not work. 1-2 now the count here to Chase Winkler. Peter has done a great job pitching in the AWA. Strike 3, got him swinging. Another strikeout for Peter McNeil. We have 1 out here in the top of the second. Stingers are leading 3-1, and that's going to bring up Gunnar Whitelaw. Gunnar Whitelaw did have a double last inning, an RBI double, as the only RBI for the Enforcers today, providing great offense for the Enforcers without their lead man, Jake Oliver. Starts him off with a great strike there, Peter McNeil. 0-1, the count here to Gunnar. Just misses the plate there. 1-1, the count here to Gunnar. Gets him swinging right there. 1-2. Now the count here to Whitelaw. For 1-2. Strike 3, got him swinging. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Peter McNeil. He is looking great thus far. The score here in the top of the second is 3-1, Stingers lead, and that's going to bring up Drew Williams. Drew Williams has a couple of walks here in the game thus far. Strike 1. Peter is dialed in this inning. 0-1 now here to Drew. The 0-1. Just misses the zone there. A rare ball from Peter McNeil. 1-1 now the count. Strike 2, another great pitch from Peter, who has just been dialed in this inning. He has 2 strikeouts already. 1-2. Fouls it off. Drew is staying in there. Drew has mustered up a few great at-bats thus far in the game today. Has a couple of walks, helping his team out. Fouls it off again. Drew staying in there. The count is 1-2 here to Drew Williams. The Stingers have 2 outs here in the top of the second. Stingers are leading 3-1. The 1-2. In play. Peter's going to get that and step on first himself, and he's going to get out of the inning. 3-1 the score here as we head into the bottom of the second. Stingers are leading. For those of you who are joining us here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. The link for that is going to be in the bio. There's a lot of cool things going on over on the YouTube live stream. There's a scoreboard. You'll be able to see how many runners are on base, the inning, and how many outs there are. And it's great content over there. All of your questions that you might have here on TikTok will be answered. Feel free to go ahead and join us over there. If not, don't worry. I'll keep announcing what's going on. And we are here in the bottom of the second. Stingers are leading 3-1. Cole Blevins is up. 1-0 now the count here to Cole. 2-0 now here the count to Cole. Chase Winkler is pitching for the Enforcers. 2-1 as Cole looked like he was swinging an oar there. 2-1. 3-1 now the count. I don't know if any of you got that who might play MLB The Show. 3-1. Cole swings again. 3-2 the count. Cole does not want to walk. You gotta love his attitude there. You gotta love it. 3-2 full to Cole, but he's gonna walk anyways. The Stingers have their leadoff runner on. Again, the score here in the bottom of the second is 3-1. Stingers are leading. Chase Winkler is pitching here in Game 1 of the 3-game series. I know what a lot of you are thinking. Where's Jake Oliver? Well, Jake is not here today. Turns out he had a disc golf tournament, so Chase here is pitching for the Enforcers. Starts Jake McNeil off here with strike 1, 0-1 the count. 0-2 here the count to Jake. The 0-2 just misses outside. Not a bad pitch there from Chase. 2-2 now here the count to Jake McNeil. In play. Brock's going to get the ball, and they're not going to make the play at second. Everybody's going to be safe. The Stingers now have runners on first and second. Here in the bottom of the first, no outs. As that's going to bring up Brendan Davis here to the plate. Brendan rocking the Red Sox today. Matching the jersey, you got to love it. We'll see what Brendan here can do against Chase Winkler. The 0-0 starts him off with a quick ball, 1-0 the count. Fouls it off there, 1-1 now the count here to Davis. 1-2 now the count here to Brendan, as he didn't know what he was swinging right there. 2-2. Just misses. 3-2 full now here, the count to Brendan. And he's going to walk him there. Great at bat there from Brendan Davis as the bases are now loaded for team captain Peter McNeil. Peter has been pitching great for his team thus far. We'll see if he can help himself out here at the plate. The score is 3-1. Stingers are leading here in the bottom of the second. 0-0 the count here to Peter. 1-0 now the count to Peter McNeil. The 1-0. 2-0 now the count. In play? Nope. That was a foul ball there down the third baseline. 2-1 now the count here for Peter McNeil. Peter has the opportunity to do some real damage here to the enforcers here in the bottom of the second. Just misses there. 3-1 the count to Peter. And he's going to walk in a run here. Chase is going to walk in a run. 4-1 is now the score. Stingers are leading here in the bottom of the second. And that's going to bring up Colin McCanny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thought process here.
0-0 here to Colin.
A little more swings here.
1-0 now the count. In play. Brock's going to bobble. He's going to get Brendan out there at third. A run will come in. The score is now 5-1. Stingers are leading as there's one out here in the bottom of the second. 5-1 is the score. Cole is going to swing at the first pitch strike. It's going to be foul. 0-1 is the count. Now here to Cole Blevins. The Stingers have runners on first and second. 1-1 the count to Cole. 2-1 now the count. In play. That's going to be a tough play for Brock, and everybody's going to be safe. The bases are now loaded again here in the bottom of the first as Cole gets a swinging bunt single right there. You got to love those. And that's going to bring up Jake McNeil, the walking legend. He does draw a lot of walks here for the Stingers. That's why he's here in the leadoff position. Stingers are leading 5-1 here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 the count to Jake. 2-0 the count to Jake, working his magic here against Chase. In play. Jake's going to make the play at home. Peter is going to be out. Bases will remain loaded. 2 outs here now in the inning for the enforcers.
Go, Brendan.
We're in the bottom of the second. The score is 5-1. Stingers are leading. And Brendan Davis is now at the plate. Going to start Brendan off quick. 1-0. 2-0 the count here. Gets him swinging right there. 2-1. Now the count as Brendan was fishing. 3-0 the count to Brendan. 3-1 the count now to Brendan. And that's going to walk in another run. 6-1 is now the score. Stingers are leading. As Peter just got missed there for a fist bump from McCanny. Peter, not normally a left-handed batter, but he's going to try to show something here with the bases loaded. 1-0, the count to Peter. 2-0 is the count here. 3-0. Peter really wants to hit left-handed. He's going to swing anyways. 3-1 now the count. Peter does not want to walk. Wants to do some damage here with the bases loaded. And just misses it. 3-2. The count is full. Bases are loaded here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And that's deep. Gone! Peter with a left-handed home run. Incredible. Grand slam. Peter McNeil, left-handed. He is not normally left-handed, folks, but he does it anyways. We always joke around with him saying he's better left-handed than he is right-handed, and he's trying to prove us right. Great hit from Peter McNeil there. The score is now 10-1 Stingers lead as they reach the limit there in the bottom of the second. That's going to bring us to the top of the third. Stingers looking for 3 outs here to win game 1. Enforcers struggling a little bit here in game 1 as they don't have their team captain, Jake Oliver, today. Jake had a disc golf tournament. If you know what I mean, Jake, you know Oliver. 0-0 here to Brock Playhouse. 1-1 now the count. The Stingers are leading 10-1 here in the top of the third. 3 outs away from their first win of the series. We're here in game 1. 1-1 now the count to Brock, the interim team captain for today for the Enforcers. 2-1 the count. Peter having a great game thus far. 3-1 the count here to Brock. Peter having a great game thus far, pitching great on the mound and also has a grand slam left-handed as Brock fouls that ball off right there. Again, the score is 10-1 here in the top of the third. Strike 3 got him looking. Great pitch from Peter McNeil. Peter has been getting strikeouts, swinging, looking. It just doesn't matter. That curve is going for him today. 1 out now here in the top of the third. Stingers are 2 outs away from taking game 1 of the 3-game series. Peter, who has been leading his team so far. And that ball is crushed by Chase Winkler, and that's going to be a home run. That ball is crushed from Chase Winkler. That's his second home run of the 2021 season for the Enforcers. Score is now 10-2. Stingers are leading in the top of the third. As Chase shouts his parents out right there. Gotta love it. 10-2 the score now. And that's going to bring up Gunnar Whitelaw to the dish. The 0-0 to Gunnar. Gets him with the first pitch strike. 1-0 now, or 0-1 now the count. Oh, and 2 now the count here to Gunnar. Peter gets him behind 2 pitches quickly. Fouls it off, stays alive. 0-2 still the count here. 10-2 is the score in the top of the third. Stingers are leading. 1 out. Fouls it off again. The count will remain 0-2. The count here. The 0-2 from McNeil. Hits him in the head for the first ball of the at-bat. 1-2 now the count. That was low. 2-2 now the count to Gunnar. As he's made Peter throw quite a few pitches here so far. Good at-bat so far from Whitelaw. Two and 2 the count here. Up in the air, and Peter's going to make the play. 2 outs here now in the inning. We're in the top of the third. Stingers are leading 10-2. Top of the third. Stingers are leading 10-2. They're 1 out away from taking game 1 of the series. And that's going to step up Drew Williams. In play, and that's going to slice foul over there on the first baseline. 0-1. The count here to Drew. That was a good hit pitch right there. Might have been a home run if it would have been stayed fair. In play, great hit from Drew. As he's thinking about 2, but he's going to stay 1. That's going to be a single there for Drew Williams. Great hit. Interim team captain coming up now, Brock Playhouse.
0 for 2. I'll say it for you.
Starts him off 0-1. Brock, no stranger here to hitting bombs. We'll see if he can do it. 1-1 the count. As the Enforcers are down to their last out. 10-2 the score. And that's deep! But it's going to be a foul ball as it's off the tree right there. Unlucky break for Brock Blehouse as that ball was crushed. 1-2 the count here to Brock. Low. 2-2 now the count. As he's just grazing the hair of the fans over there. Foul tipped it. We do not play foul tips into the strike zone here in the AWA. Count will remain 2-2. Fouls it off again. Great at bat here from Brock Blehouse, making Peter throw quite a few pitches.
The one that always gets me, so I thought I'd swing.
Gotta love it. 2-2 the count. We're here in the top of the third. 2 outs. Hits the strike zone. Peter gets him looking, and that's going to be the end of game 1. 10-2. Stingers take it. Peter, the MVP of that game, absolutely pitched lights out, as well as had a home run, a grand slam, left-handed. Peter is normally a right-handed bat. He decided to step up there and hits a line drive grand slam for the Stingers. Absolutely crushed it that game as the Stingers take game 1. We're heading into game 2 here. Gunnar Whitelaw appears to be on the mound. Again, for those of you who are here on TikTok, yeah, I'm talking to all 308 of you guys right now. We do have a YouTube live stream going on. Feel free to go check it out over there. There is a scoreboard and everything. You will have all of your questions answered, going through what inning it is, how many outs there are, who's on base, who's pitching, who's up. You'll see stats, multiple camera angles, and you'll also get to see player interviews as well. So go check it out there over on YouTube. Link is in the bio. We appreciate all the support from all the TikTok fans, as well as everybody on YouTube and Instagram and all the socials. We appreciate you guys coming over here to watch. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Stingers took game 1 for a total score of 10-2. The Enforcers today are without their team captain, Jake Oliver, as he had a disc golf tournament and was unfortunately not able to make it tonight. Enforcers are trying to do what they can here on the mound as they're missing their ace as well as their stud offensive player. And unfortunately, the Enforcers did lose their first game 10-2, but they are still able to win the series here, as there will be 2 more games left. Gunnar Whitelaw is going to start it off in game 2 here for the Enforcers. We'll see what he can do against the Stingers' electric offense as of this far. I've been told to tone it down a little bit. Jake McNeil is going to lead it off here for the Stingers. The 0-0 here in the top of the first. 1-0 now the count here to Jake. The 1-0 now to here to Jake McNeil. Behind him, 2-0. Jake working his magic here. 3-0 the count now to Jake, as he will most likely be taking this next pitch. Just misses, and that's going to be a walk for Jake on 4 pitches right there. 0-0 is a score here in the top of the first, and that's going to bring up Brendan Davis for the Stingers. The 0-0. 1-0 the count here to Brendan. 1-0. 1-1. The count now to Brennan. The score is 0-0 here in the top of the first. 2-1. Now the count. 3-1. The count now to Brennan. Fouls it off right there. 3-2 full. The count now. The 3-2 misses, and that's going to be 2 straight walks here for Gunnar Whitelaw to start off the top of the first. The Stingers are going to have runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Peter McNeil. What is he going to hit this time? Is he going to hit right or left? Peter had a grand slam hitting lefty in the last game, slowly proving that he's a switch hitter. We're going to see what Peter chooses to do here. Looks like he's going to go right-handed. Trying to be the first AWA player to have a home run, both left-handed and right-handed in a 3-game series. Strike one. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw to start Peter McNeil off. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 just misses high. 1-1 the count to Peter. 2-1 the count. Again, the Stingers have runners on first and second. No outs here in the top of the first. Great pitch from Gunnar right there. 2-2 the count. The 2-2. Gets him swinging. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw. Whitelaw walked the first 2 batters of the inning, but he's starting to find it as he strikes out Peter McNeil. And that brings up Colin McCanny. Strike one. Great pitch from Gunnar. 0-1 the count. 0-2. Gets him behind quickly. 0-2 the count. Here to McCanny. And there's ball 1. 1-2. And the score is 0-0 here in the top of the first. Just misses high. 2-2 the count here to Colin. 2-2. Misses high again. That's going to bring the count to full. 3-2 the count with 1 out in the inning. Strike 3 gets him. That's 2 back-to-back strikeouts for Gunnar Whitelaw. He walked the first 2 batters of the inning, but comes back quickly and strikes out the next 2. Great pitching thus far from Whitelaw. Cole Blevins steps up. Strike 1, great pitch from Gunnar. 0-1 now the count to Cole. 1-1 now the count. 1-1 here to Cole. As he's swinging at a really low pitch there. 1-2 the count to Cole Blevins. The 1-2. Misses low. 2-2 now the count. As the score is again 0-0 in the top of the first. 3-2 full now. The count to Cole. Stingers have runners on first and second. Strike 3 gets him looking. Gunnar Whitelaw walked the first 2 batters out of that inning, but then he goes ahead and strikes out the next 3. Great pitching from Whitelaw right there. You gotta love it. The score is 0-0 here in the bottom of the first. Again, for those of you who are just joining us over here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. The link for that YouTube live stream is going to be in the bio. If you tend to have some questions sometimes about what the score is or what inning it may be, what game it may be, or anything like that, all those questions will be answered over on YouTube, as you'll have the score right there, who's on base, and all of that good stuff. You'll have multiple camera angles, some player interviews, and hopefully some great commentary as well. Cole Blevins is going to start it off here for the Stingers in game number 2. The Stingers won the first game of the 3-game series 10-2 on the heroics of Peter McNeil. Peter pitched incredibly in the first game while also having a grand slam hitting lefty. Peter is normally a right-handed hitter, but he decided to go left-handed and he hit a grand slam. It was pretty cool. If you want to go see the replay, the live stream game will be posted to YouTube, so you'll be able to go relive that moment over on the YouTube channel. Again, the score is 0-0 here in the bottom of the first. Drew Williams is going to lead it off for the Enforcers. Cole Blevins is pitching, the 0-0. Starts him off with a quick 1-0. The Enforcers do not have their team captain, Jake Oliver, here today, unfortunately. 2-0 the count here to Drew. But thus far, Gunnar Whitelaw has been pitching great for the Enforcers in game number 2. Strike 1, 2-1 the count here to Drew. The 2-1. 3-1 to Drew. Three and 1. Walks him. Great at bat from Drew. And the Enforcers are going to have their leadoff runner on. And that brings up the powerhouse, Brock Blehaus. Brock is serving as the Enforcers' interim team captain today, as they're without Jake Oliver. 0-0 to Brock. 1-0. The count now to Blehaus. In play, Brendan's going to make the play right there, as that was hit just right at him. There's now 1 out here in the bottom of the first. The Enforcers have a runner on first. The score is 0-0. Up steps Chase Winkler. 1-0. Count here to Chase. As he fouls it off, just about hits the camera. If Chase would have made contact with that, it might have been his second home run of the day. 1-1. 2-1. Play! Cole's going to make the play right there. That's going to be 2 outs, but that will advance the runners over to second and third. 2 outs now in the bottom of the first, and Drew Williams is going to come up to bat. Drew Williams walked in his last at-bat. The 0-0. Deep! Crushed, and that's gone. What a hit from Drew Williams right there. The 3-run shot is going to put the Enforcers on the board. It's now 3-0. Enforcers are leading. Great hit there from Drew Williams. 3-0 is the score in the bottom of the first. Enforcers are leading. As there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Brock Blehaus up to the plate. Fouls it off. Just misses. 0-1 the count. 1-1 now the count. To Brock Blehaus. 2-1 the count. Nobody's on. In play, crushed. And Brock's looking to go 2. And he's going to get there. That is not a force there at second. Brock's going to be in with a double. As the score is 3-0 in the bottom of the first, Enforcers have a runner on second, 2 outs here in the inning, and Chase Winkler steps up. Crushed, and that's gone. What a hit from Chase Winkler. Absolutely crushed out there in left center. And the Enforcers are now leading 5-0 in the bottom of the first. Cole's getting rocked here early. Great hit from Chase. That's his second home run of the day. Gunnar Whitelaw steps up. Going to start off with a quick ball. 1-0 is the count. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Nobody's on. Strike 1, 1-1 now to Whitelaw. 2-1 now the count. 2-1. 3-1 now the count. The 3-1 here to Whitelaw. Walks him. As the Stingers have just not been able to get out of this inning just yet. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Enforcers are leading 5-0. Thank you to home runs from both Drew Williams and Chase Winkler. A 3-run shot from Drew and a 2-run shot from Chase. 5-0 is your score here in the bottom of the first. The 0-0 to Drew. Fouls it off. Drew Williams has had some great at-bats today. 0-1. 1-1 now the count to Drew. The 1-1. 2-1 now the count. Count is 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, runner on first. 3-1. 3-1 to Drew. Strike right there. 3-2 full now the count. Drew wants to hit. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. In play. That's going to be fair, and Drew's going to beat that out, and Whitelaw's looking to go 3. Great heads-up running from Whitelaw right there. As now the Enforcers have runners at the corners, 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and that brings up the powerhouse, Brock Playhouse. 0-0 to Brock. Deep! Crushed! Gone! Get out of here. 3-run shot from Brock Playhouse. And that's the inning. That's 8 runs in the inning for the Enforcers as they are providing some massive offense here in Game 2. It's going to bring us to the top of the second. Enforcers are leading 8-0. Enforcers, oh, what a shot there from McCanny. Collum hitting the bucket right there. That was impressive. Enforcers are leading 8-0 here in Game 2. The Enforcers did fall in the first game 10-2 to the Stingers off heroics from Peter. Peter pitched great. Peter McNeil pitched great in Game 1 and also had a grand slam swinging lefty. But the Enforcers are a force right now. 8-0 in the top of the second. Whitelaw pitching. And Jake McNeil up to the plate. 1-0 the count. Fouls it off. Gunner has been pitching great thus far in Game 2 for the Enforcers. 2-1 the count here to Jake McNeil. Jake, no stranger to walking. Some call him the walking legend. 3-1 the count. The 3-1. Great comeback pitch from Whitelaw. It's going to bring it to 3-2 full. Again, no outs here in the top of the second. Almost got him right there, but Jake just gets that bat around. 3-2 full, the count. Misses low, and Jake's going to get the walk. Great at bat from Jake McNeil. And the Stingers are going to get their leadoff man on, and that's going to bring up Brendan Davis. The score is 8-0. Enforcers are leading. They had a massive bottom of the first. 1-0 the count. 1-0 to Brendan. Fouls it off. 1-1 now the count. Score again is 8-0. Enforcers lead. Gets the top of the zone. Great pitch from Whitelaw. 1-2 the count. Have a little bit of player safety out there. You got to make sure that nobody steps on the balls and hurts themselves. 1-2 the count now to Davis. 2-2 now the count. No outs in the top of the second. Runner on first. 2-2 now the count to Davis. Oh, almost goes in the bucket there for Peter. Wait, was that Peter? Was that full? 3-2?
No, that was ball 4.
Oh, my bad.
All right, you're officiating.
You right? All right. Runners on first and second. No outs here. Top of the second is the inning, and that's going to bring up team captain, Peter McNeil. 0-0 to Peter.
Good eye.
1-0 now the count.
Look for your pitch.
The 1-0. 2-0 now here to Peter. So we have runners on first and second in the top of the second. 3-0 now to Peter. Peter will definitely be giving himself the green light here. 3-0. In play, and that's going to be a foul ball down the third baseline. For those of you who don't know, there is a little bit of shrubbery over there on the third baseline. If it hits the shrubs, it is a foul ball. 3-1 the count here. Top of the second. 8-0. Enforcers are leading. No outs. In play. Chase is going to make the play. He's going to tag Jake for the out. Runner's going to remain first and second. And there's going to be one out here in the inning. Up to bat comes Colin McCanny. Two and 0 now the count to McCanny. 2-0. Just hits the top of the strike zone. 2-1 now the count. We have runners on first and second in the top of the second. 3-1 the count here to McCanny. Forcers have one out so far. Walks him. Bases are now loaded. Up comes Cole Blevins for the Stingers. Enforcers leading here in game number 2, 8-0. The 0-0. 1-0 now the count here to Cole Blevins. Again, for those of you just joining us, we had home runs last inning. In play. Gunner's going to make the play, and he's going to be safe at first. Almost gets the double play there. 2 outs now on the top of the second. Bases are still loaded. And that's going to bring up Jake McNeil, top of the order. The score is 8-0. Enforcers lead off of incredible home runs from Brock Blayhouse, Drew Williams, and Chase Winkler last inning. As we get some balls here for Gunner. Again, for those of you who are joining us here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. The link for that is going to be in the bio. Go check it out over there. And up steps Jake McNeil. 0-0. Great pitch from Gunner. 0-1 now the count. The 0-1 to Jake. Swings right there at that pitch. Jake behind here early, 0-2. Misses high, 1-2 now the count. The 1-2 to Jake. 2-2 now the count to Jake. 2-2. 3-2, count is full. The bases are loaded here with 2 outs. A walk would bring in a run. As it misses, and Jake's gonna walk. Gonna get an RBI for the Stingers right there. 8-1 now the score. Enforcers are leading. And the top of 2, up steps Brendan Davis. 0-0. 1-0 now the count to Brendan. 2-0 the count to Brendan. Three and 0 now to Brendan. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Walks him on 4 pitches. There goes another run. 8-2 now the score. Enforcers are leading. Peter McNeil is stepping up to the plate now. For those of you who are with us here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. Go ahead and check it out. There is a link in the bio. There will be a scoreboard. You'll be able to see how many base runners are on, how many outs there are, and what the situation is. All of your questions will be answered over there on YouTube. We're here in game number 2. 8-2 is the score, Enforcers leading. The Stingers took game 1, 10-2. Peter McNeil up with the bases loaded. 0-0. 1-0 now the count to Peter. The 1-0. 2-0 now. Hits the top of the strike zone. Great pitch from Whitelaw. 2-1. Now the count to Peter. 2-1. 2-2 as Peter's swinging at the high cheese. The 2-2. 3-2 full now to Peter. Bases are loaded. If he walks, get an RBI. And he got him swinging. He went through. Whitelaw gets out of the inning, limiting the damage to only 2 runs. The Enforcers are still leading here 8-2 in the bottom of the second. Whitelaw walked in a couple of runs there, but limits the damage on the half swing from Peter. And it looks like Colin McCanny is going to pitch for Cole Blevins. Cole did get shelled in the bottom of the first inning as he gave up 8 runs. Gave up a 3-run homer to Drew Williams, a 2-run homer to Chase Winkler, and another 3-run bomb to Brock Blehaus. The Enforcers are without their team captain tonight, Jake Oliver, but here in game 2, the Enforcers are making up the offense as well as the pitching. Whitelaw pitching well, and the Enforcers offense is going in this game. Ooh, Whitelaw almost making it in the bucket right there. Again, I know I probably sound like a broken record there to all you over on TikTok, but we do have a YouTube live stream going on right now. Link is in the bio. Go check it out. Pretty cool over there. You got a scoreboard and everything. All your questions will be answered. 1-0 the count here to Chase Winkler. We're in the bottom of the second. 2-0 now the count. Enforcers leading 8-2. 3-0. Count here to Chase. Oh, you could tell Chase wanted that one. Swinging out of his shoes. If he made contact, watch out. 3-1 to Winkler. Good take. Now you're going to start the inning off with a walk. Runner on first in the bottom of the second, no outs. Forcers up 8-2. Gunnar Whitelaw up to the plate. 1-0 the count. In play, great hit from Gunnar. Chase is going to go 3. Not a good throw from Brendan, and Gunnar is going to advance on the throw. 2 runners on second and third, no outs in the bottom of the second. Up steps Drew Williams. Moves the bat out of the way. 1-0 the count. Fouls it off there. Tell Drew wanted that one for his second home run of the game. 2-1 the count. 2-2 now the count to Drew. Strike 3, got him swinging. Great pitch from Colin McCanny. As there is now 1 out here in the bottom of the second, runners on second and third, and up steps Brock Playhouse. Ball 1 low, 1-0 the count. In play. Brendan's going to step on the bag, but that's not a force. So they're not going to get any outs right there. Winkler's going to score, so that's going to be a RBI single for Brock Playhouse, and the Enforcers are now up 9-2 here in the bottom of the second. Chase Winkler steps up again. Chase has a home run already in this game. 1-0 the count. 2-0 the count. Runners on first and second for the Enforcers. Strike 1. Chase wanted it, man. 2-1 now the count to Winkler. 3-1 the count. The 3-1. Just missed that pitch. 3-2 full now here to Winkler. Runners on first and second in the bottom of the second. Fouled it off. 3-2 full. Here is the count to Chase Winkler. Fouls it off again. Chase just missing these pitches. 3-2 the count. Strike 3, got him swinging. Great pitch from Colin McCanny. 2 outs here in the inning. There's runners on first and second. Enforcers are leading now 9-2 in the bottom of the second. Gunnar Whitelaw coming up to the dish. 1-0 the count here to Whitelaw. 2-0 now the count. 3-0 is the count. Whitelaw been hitting well lately. He's definitely got the green light. 3-1 now here to Whitelaw. Walks him. Bases are now loaded for Drew Williams. Drew does have a 3-run home run in this game. Definitely can do some damage here. 9-2, Enforcers are leading with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The 0-0 to Drew. 1-0 now the count. 2-0 starts him off with 2 quick balls. 3-0. Bases are loaded for the Enforcers. Strike right there on the outside corner. 3-1 now the count. Just misses high, and that's going to be an RBI. And the score is now going to be 10-2. Enforcers are leading. The bases are still loaded. We have 2 outs in the bottom of the second, and up steps Brock Playhouse. 1-0 the count. Brock already has a 3-run home run in this game. Looking to add a grand slam. In play, and that's going to get past Brendan, the third baseman. Chase is going to score, Gunnar is going to score, and everybody's going to be safe. A double for Brock Playhouse brings in 2. Runners are at second and third now. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And the Enforcers are now leading 12-2. Chase Winkler steps back up. 1-0 the count to Chase. 2-0 starts him off with 2 quick balls. 3-0 now the count. The 3-0. In play. McCanny gets it, and they're going to get the out at first, and they're going to get out of the inning. 12-2 is the score. Enforcers are leading. And that's going to bring us into the top of the third. Enforcers need 3 outs here to secure their first win of the day. We're here in game 2. Enforcers did fall in the first game 10-2 to the Stingers. Unfortunately, team captain Jake Oliver was unable to make it today for the Stingers, but they're playing well here in game number 2, up 12-2. Gunnar Whitelaw has been pitching well for the Enforcers thus far, and Colin McCanny is going to step up to the plate. Again, for those of you on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going. The link for that is in the bio. Go check it out. 0-0. Starts him off with a great strike. 0-1 now the count here to Colin. Strike 2, a quick 0-2 for McCanny. The 0-2. 1-2 now. So we're here in the top of the third. Nobody on, nobody out. And there's a ball. 1-2 now the count. 2-2 the count. 3-2 the count. I apologize. 3-2 full. Strike 3, got him looking. Great pitch from Whitelaw. There's 1 out here now on the top of the third. Enforcers are 2 outs away from securing their first win of the day. We're here in game number 2, 12-2 the score. Enforcers are leading. Cole Blevins now up. In play. Brock's going to make the easy play out there. 2 outs now in the inning. Top of the third. 2 outs.
Rob, Julianne wants me to let you know.
Nobody on, and up steps Jake McNeil.
Just so that you know that Julianne.
As we're getting some balls here. For all of you over here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. Link for that's in the bio. If you ever have questions about the score or anything like that, that'll all be answered over there. Be able to see some cool effects, some cool camera angles, some camera angles you will not be able to see here on TikTok, so go check it out over there on YouTube. The 0-0 to Jake. 1-0. Starts him off with a quick ball. We have 2 outs here in the top of the third. Low there, 2-0 now the count. Jake, no stranger to walking at all. 2-1 now the count. Here to Jake. 3-1 the count. How's that, Jake? We have 2 outs here in the top of the third. Off the top of the strike zone. Great pitch from Whitelaw. 3-2 full now the count. Walks him though. Jake just working his magic out here, constantly getting walks. His on-base percentage is just high. A truly Billy Bean type of player out there. The 0-0 here to Brendan Davis. 1-0 now the count. 1-0, top of the third, 2 outs. Hits Brendan in the face right there. Oh, in the shoulder. Looked like the face. 2-0 now to Brendan. 2 outs here, top of the third. Just misses high. I apologize, it was 3-0. That is a walk for Brendan Davis. And now the Stingers have runners on first and second. Up steps team captain Peter McNeil. The question of today has been what is Peter going to hit? Is he going to hit left-handed? Is he going to hit right-handed? We don't know. Peter had a grand slam left-handed. Normally he hits right-handed. Slowly proving to be a switch hitter The only one in the AWA. Oh, he's going to hit left-handed. Been a lot more dominant left-handed than he has been right-handed lately, so we'll see what happens. Oh! It's off the fence! Everybody's going to remain safe. Jeez, Peter. Almost had another home run right there. Might need to be thinking about hitting lefty more often. He's convinced me that he's better left-handed than right-handed. We have 2 outs here in the top of the third. Call McKinney up. Great pitch from Whitelaw. 0-1. Starts him off with a quick strike. Bases are loaded. 1-1 now the count. 2-1 now the count to McCanny. Bases are loaded. The Enforcers are leading 12-2 in the top of the third. Another great strike from Gunnar Whitelaw. And there's a ball high right there. Bases are loaded. 2 outs, top of the third. Misses. Walks him. Walks in a run. The score is now 12-3. Enforcers are leading. The Stingers are doing all this damage, though, with their final out. We'll see what Cole Blevins can do here with the bases loaded. Oh and 0 now the count to Cole Blevins. Starts him off with a quick strike. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw. 0-1. 2 back-to-back electric pitches from Whitelaw. 0-2 quickly to Cole Blevins. Misses behind his back. 1-2 now the count. Bases are loaded here in the top of the third. 2 outs. Strike 3, got him swinging. Gunnar Whitelaw had a great performance right there in game number 2. The Enforcers are going to take game 2, 12-3. The 3-game series today is Stingers with 1 win, Enforcers with 1 win, and we're heading into the rubber match here for game number 3. Who's going to take it all? Peter will be back out on the mound for the Stingers. We'll see if Gunnar Whitelaw stays for the Enforcers. He pitched well in game number 2. As we head into game number 3. Hey, Chase, can you get Jack first? Again, for those of you who are over here joining us on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. Great camera angles, great commentary, and even better, a scoreboard that tells you the score and lets you know the situations. It is great stuff over there on YouTube. Go check it out if you're over here on TikTok as we get ready for game number 3. Peter McNeil in game number 1 was definitely the MVP for the Stingers, striking out quite a few batters as well as having a grand slam left-handed. Peter normally a right-handed hitter. I can't tell yeah, I just thought I hadn't really been checking on the camera very much until last game. I think it's still fine, but I can't tell if it's...
It's still good. I'll just change it just in case. Take coffees here. Quick camera change. Noise.
There it is.
All right.
Let's get it, man. All right, chat, I'm back. As we're getting ready here for game number 3, Drew Williams is going to lead it off again for the Enforcers. Peter McNeil, who had an electric performance in game number 1 in their 10-2 win against the Enforcers, is going to start the game for the Stingers. Oh, yeah, you're good to go. As we started off, pitch number 1. Strike 1. Great pitch from Peter to start the game off. We're at the start here of game number 3. 0-0 is the score in the top of the first. 0-1 the count. 1-1 now the count. Here to Drew Williams. 2-1. Now the count here to Drew. 2-1. In the air, playable. Cole's gonna make the play. Little bit of a miscommunication out there over at first, but doesn't matter. They get the out. 1 out here in the top of the first. Nobody on. Brock Blehouse coming up to the dish.
Where do you want it?
I want a home run right over the 102 sign there. Straight center. 0-0 to Brock. 1-0 the count. Brock had a monster blast last game for a 3-run shot. Just misses that one. 1-1 now the count. 1-1 here, top of the first. 0-0 is the score. Great pitch from Peter on the riser. 1-2 the count to Brock. 2-2 now the count to Brock. Ooh, almost made it in the bucket. That would have been impressive. 2-2. Strike 3, got him on the curve. Great pitch from Peter McNeil. Peter just been electric today. As the Stingers toss it around. We got 2 outs now in the top of the first. And up steps Chase Winkler. Chase also had a monster shot in the last game. Yo-oh. Swinging hard right there for strike number 1. 0-1 the count. Great pitch from Peter. Right on the outside corner. Going to start Chase off 0-2 quickly. Oh, and 2 now. As he tried to go back to the curve, but just missed up high. 1-2 now the count. 2-2 now the count as Chase is working on battling his way back. The 2-2. Misses outside, brings it to 3-2 full. A quality at bat here from Chase Winkler. After going down early, 0-2. Score is 0-0 here in the top of the first. Fouls it off. Peter would have made that play. Count is full here to Chase. In play. And that's going to get right by Peter. Chase is going to make it for the infield single. The Enforcers now have a runner at first. 2 outs, top of the first. And up steps Gunnar Whitelaw. Had a great pitching performance in game number 2, helping lead the Enforcers to a win, 12-3 in game 2. We're here in game 3 now. Starts him off with the first pitch strike there, 0-1 the count. 0-1. 1-1 now the count. Here to Whitelaw. Fouls it off. 1-2 now the count. Forcers have a runner at first. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Strike 3. Swinging there on the pitch. Another strikeout for Peter MC McNeil. Absolutely been electric today, folks. Peter has been pitching great. Peter helped lead the Stingers to an early Game 1 win. Stingers fell in their second game to the Enforcers, 12-2. The series is tied 1-1 as the Enforcers get a couple of graham crackers out there on the field. For those of you hanging out over here on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on as well. The link for the YouTube live stream is in the bio. Go check it out if you want multiple camera angles, some stats, as well as a scoreboard to see the score. You can go check it out over there. Oh, here to Jake McNeil. Oh, and he hits it in play. And he's going to get a single right there. I can't see that. I don't think so. I think it's safe. He looks safe from my angle. It's like nobody's paying attention. Jake's going to get reach first there. Got no outs here in the bottom of the first. In play! And that's going to drop, but Brock's going to get the out there at second. Jake didn't run there. Jake kind of struggling out on the base paths a little bit here today. But that's okay because he's getting on, which is what matters. There's now one out here in the bottom of the first. The score is 0-0. Peter McNeil steps up. And that's crushed in the gap. Brendan looking to go home. And they're not going to get him. Then Peter's going to advance to third on the overthrow. The score is now 1-0 Stingers.
Look at those wheels by Brendan.
On the great hit from Peter McNeil. Brendan with the great wheels scoring from first on that hit. Starts him off with a quick strike. 0-1 the count. The score is now 1-0 Stingers here in the bottom of the first. One out. 1-1 now the count to McCanny. 2-1 the count. 2-1 to McCanny. 3-1 now the count. Strike two. The count is full. Stingers have a runner on third, one out in the inning. They're leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Walks him. Runners at the corners now, one out. Cole Blevins is going to step up. Stingers leading 1-0 early here on a triple from Peter McNeil that scored one. Cole's going to start off with a quick ball, 1-0. 1-1 now the count here to Cole Blevins. Cole chasing a few pitches today. 1-1. 2-1 now the count. For those of you who can't see Cole's shoes right now, they are pretty flashy. You got to like them. Strike two there. Great pitch from Whitelaw. Stingers have runners at the corners. There's one out. Bottom of the first. The Stingers are leading 1-0 here in game number 3. That's going to be a foul ball.
Take another hack at it.
Just did the hand, but I swung.
Low. Yep, count is now full. I can't see. That looked low to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a strike.
Strike?
I thought it was ball.
Got some chatter out here, but Alex Harden had the better angle. It's gonna call it a strike for Cole. As we're gonna have a little replay review. As we have all decided that it was a ball there to Cole Blevins. 3-2 full now the count. Runners at the corners, bottom of the first, 1-0 Stingers lead. One out. Strike 3, got him swinging. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw. Two outs here now in the inning. Runners at the corners. Jake McNeil steps up. Starts him off with a quick ball. 1-0 the count here to Jake McNeil. Fouls it off.
He's out of here.
As that foul ball hit a fan in the stands over there. 1-1 now the count. 2-1 the count. Don't worry, chat. She is okay. Runners at the corners now. We're here in the top or in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Jake McNeil up to bat. 2-1 the count. 3-1 now the count to Jake McNeil. Strike 2. 3-2 full now here. We're in the bottom of the first. 2 outs. Runners at the corners. The 3-2. Walks him. Another walk for Jake McNeil. Up steps Brendan Davis with the bases loaded. Stingers are leading 1-0 here early in the bottom of the first. Brendan 0-0. Starts him off with a quick strike. 0-1 here to Brendan. The 0-1 to Brendan. 1-1 now to Brendan. As there is bases loaded for the Stingers. 2 outs, bottom of the first. 1-1. That was a strike. 1-2 now. Here to Brendan. Hits him on the elbow. 2-2 now the count. In play. And Drew is going to make the easy play over there at first. Enforcers get out of it, allowing only 1 run. 1-0 is the score. Stingers are leading. And that's going to take us into the top of the second. For those of you who are here with us on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. Link for that is in the bio. We have a lot of cool things going on over there at YouTube. Multiple camera angles, scoreboard. You'll have all your questions answered over there at YouTube. Great production job over there from the team. But for those of you who want to stay on TikTok, no worries at all. I will go ahead and keep calling out the scores and everything, letting you guys know what's going on in the situations. We appreciate all the support. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Drew Williams is going to step up here in the top of the second. Stingers are leading 1-0. Nobody on. Got no outs here. Peter McNeil has been electric all day today. We'll see if he can continue that here at the top of the second. Drew's going to get started off with a quick ball there. 1-0 the count. Drew swinging there. Foul tipping that one. 1-1 now the count. 2-1. 2-1. Fouls it off there. 2-2 now. Count is even. Nobody on in the top of the second. No outs. The 2-2. Just misses the outside with that curve there. Arguably Peter McNeil's best pitch. Drew's going to bring the count full. 3-2 now. And that's going to miss. Drew's going to start the inning off with a walk. Great at bat for Drew Williams. Up steps Brock Blehaus.
Let's go, Bloodhouse.
All right, go ahead. Say something mean about me.
Get some.
Brock had a monster bomb in game number 2. 3-run shot. We'll see if he can do it again here. Starts him off 0-1. There's one runner on here in the top of the second. Oh, strike number 2. A quick 0-2 for Brock Playhouse. The 0-2. It's going to miss. Peter misses with the curve there. 1-2 now the count. Fouls it off. Brock staying in there. 1-2 now the count. Forces have a runner at first, no outs. Top of the second. The 1-2 here to Playhouse. Strike 3 got him swinging. Peter McNeil with yet another strikeout. There's now 1 out here in the inning. Runner on first. Chase Winkler steps up. Great pitch from Peter. Going back to that curve. 0-1 starts off Winkler. Oh and 1. 1-1 now the count. Two and 1 the count here to Winkler. There's a runner at first. 1 out here in the inning. Fouls it off. Just about to hit the camera again. Getting close up here. Here in the top of the second. Stingers leading 1-0. In play, and Peter's going to be able to make the easy play. Looks the runner back to first. We now have 2 outs in the top of the second. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Gunnar Whitelaw. One to nothing the score here. Top of the second. Starts him off with the first pitch strike. Peter going back to the curve again. Been very effective with that pitch today. Hits him in the shoulder there for ball number 1. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. And that's crushed. Over. Oh, Brendan can't make the play. Drew's going to advance to third, and Whitelaw is going to advance to second there. Runners now on second and third. Off the tough play for Brendan. That was over his head. Almost made the circus grab out there. Wasn't able to haul it in. Good hit from Whitelaw. The Enforcers now have runners at second, third with 2 outs in the top of the second. Drew Williams up. First pitch is going to miss high. 1-0 the count. 1-0. 1-1 now the count to Drew Williams. Drew Williams had a bomb in the last game. 3-run shot. 2-1 the count here to Drew Williams. We'll see if he can do it again here to help the Enforcers out. Swinging, and that's going to be a foul ball as it did not go past the in-play zone. Also hit Drew on the swing as well. Two and 2, or yeah, I think it's full. Yeah, 3-2 now the count to Drew. In play, and that's going to drop, and the spin is going to allow everybody to be safe. Winkler's going to score from third. There's going to be now runners at the corners. The score is going to now be 1-1. On some crazy spin there from Drew Williams as it spun right past Cole at first. And there's now 2 outs here in the top of the second. 1-1 the score. Runners at the corners. And up comes Brock Playhouse. Starts him off with a quick first pitch strike. Great pitch from Peter McNeil. Quick 0-2 here for Brock Playhouse. Brock had an absolute moonshot in the last game. We'll see if he can do it again. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 here to Playhouse. Fouls it off, stays in there. 1-2 the count. Runners at the corners, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Fouls it off again, staying alive. Count will remain 1-2. Strike 3. Gets him swinging there. Another strikeout for Peter McNeil. He's been electric today, folks. The score is 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Peter McNeil is going to lead off the inning for the Stingers. And again, for all you who are hanging out here on TikTok with us, we have a YouTube live stream going on. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. Link for that is in the bio. Multiple camera angles, cool effects and everything over there. You'll see it. The 0-0 to Peter. 1-0 now the count. Again, we're here in the bottom of the second. The score's tied 1-1. No outs. 2-0 now the count. Two-0 here to Peter McNeil. Strike, got it low. 2-1 now the count to Peter. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw. 2-1. 3-1 now to Peter. The 3-1. Strike. Great pitch from Whitelaw. 3-2 full now the count. We got no outs. Bottom of the second. 1-1 is the score here in game number 3. Hits him on his wrist. That's a ball. Walks him. Stingers have the leadoff runner on. Score is 1-1. Colin McCanny is going to come up to the plate. For those of you just joining us here today, in game 1, the Stingers won 10-2 off heroics from Peter McNeil. In game number 2, Enforcers won 12-2 off some absolute blasts from Drew Williams, Brock Playhouse, and Chase Winkler. The ball was low. 1-0 is the count, and we're now in game number 3. Both teams are tied 1-1. That's a strike right there from Whitelaw. 1-1 is the count. We'll see which team takes the series here in game number 3. 2-1 now the count to McCanny. 2-1. 3-1 now the count. Again, we have a runner on first in the bottom of the second. Nobody out. The 2-1. The 3-1, I apologize. That's a walk for McCanny. The Stingers now have their first 2 batters on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the second, and up steps Cole Blevins. 0 to Cole. 1-0 now to Cole. A lot of you might be wondering where Jake Oliver is. He's not here today. He was unable to make it. Whitelaw is on the mound. 2-0 now the count. Whitelaw has been pitching well today for the Enforcers, though. He did help them to a game number 2 win. 2-0 to Cole. In play. Drew's going to make the play. And, oh, he missed him. Missed column there. And Peter's going to advance. Both runners are going to advance up to second and third now. There's 2 outs in the inning. I apologize. 1 out in the inning. I apologize. There's 1 out in the inning. We're here in the bottom of the second. Runners on second and third. Up steps Jake McNeil. And the Stingers looking to do some more damage here against Gunnar Whitelaw. Again, Gunnar pitching today. He's pitched well so far. Jake Oliver was unable to make it for the Stingers. Had a disc golf tournament, unfortunately. Wasn't able to make it today. But the Enforcers have done well thus far. We're in game number 3. Series is tied 1-1. Great pitch from Whitelaw. Starts Jake McNeil off 0-1. Score here is 1-1 in the bottom of the second. Misses high. 1-1 now the count to Jake McNeil. Strike 2, 1-2 now. Stingers have runners on second and third, 1 out, bottom of the second. 1-2 the count to Jake McNeil. Misses low. 2-2 now the count. Jake, who has absolutely just been able to get on base just about every time he gets up. It's impressive. Fouls it off right there. Jake stays in there. Count's going to remain 2-2. Jake, who is a Billy Bean-esque player, gets on base all the time. 2-2 the count. Strike 3, got him swinging. Great pitch from Gunnar Whitelaw. The Enforcers now have 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Brennan Davis is going to step up. The score is 1-1, and Stingers have runners on second and third. Strike, gets it on the top corner. Another great pitch from Whitelaw. Hits him on the shoulder. That's going to be a 1-1 count. That's a ball right there. 1-1 the count. Misses low. 2-1 now the count. Stingers have runners on second and third. 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Misses low. 3-1 now the count. 3-1 here to Brennan. Strike. 3-2 full now here to Brendan Davis. The 3-2 misses low. He's gonna walk him. That looked low to me. The Stingers now have bases loaded. Peter McNeil is going to step up to the plate. Peter did have a grand slam left-handed in the first. He then came up last game and hit lefty again and hit another ball off the fence. His team is pleading him not to hit lefty again, which is shocking here, as he hasn't been able to do much right-handed today.
Triple the gap. What the hell you on about?
Just kidding, Chad. He had a triple in the gap. That's my bad. He's been able to do more damage left-handed, though. Just misses outside there. Starts Peter off 1-0. Bases loaded. Bottom of second, 2 outs. 2-0 now the count's Peter. Peter did not like me saying that just there about his right-handed hitting. We'll see what he can do here. Hits it high in the air. That's going to be a foul ball as it hits the tree up top. It was a high pop-up from Peter McNeil. Stingers catch a break there. The count is now going to be 2-1. Bases loaded, bottom of the second, 2 outs. The 2-1. Misses out inside. 3-1 now the count. Three and 1 here to Peter McNeil. Walks him. And there's a run in. 2-1. 2-1 now the score. Stingers are leading here in the bottom of the second. We're here in game number 3. Stingers took the first game 10-2. Enforcers took game number 2 12-2. Series is tied 1-1. We'll see who wins the series here in game number 3. As Colin McCanny steps up to the plate with the bases loaded. 1-0 the count. Player safety here. Got to make sure that none of our players out here step on any of the balls. Don't want any injuries. 2-0 now to McCanny. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the second. Just misses high. 3-0 now the count. 3-0, bases loaded, bottom of 2, 2 outs. Misses outside, and that's going to walk in another run. The score is now 3-1. Stingers are leading. Bases will remain juiced, and Cole Blevins is going to come up to the plate. See what Cole can do here. The 3-1, the 0-0, 1-0. Now the count. Stingers are leading here 3-1. 2-0 as Whitelaw spikes that one into the ground. In play, and that's going to fall, and everybody's going to be safe. A run's going to come in. The score is now going to be 4-1. Bases are going to remain loaded. And that's an infield single for Cole Blevins with an RBI. There you go, Cole. And up steps Jake McNeil to the plate. We're here in the bottom of the second. 4-1 is the score. Stingers are leading. Whitelaw, who has pitched well today in place of team captain Jake Oliver, who wasn't able to make it, struggling a little here. 1-0 the count to Jake. The 1-0 here to Jake McNeil. Misses low, 2-0 now the count. 2-0 here to Jake. 3-0. I'm almost 90% sure Jake will not be swinging on this pitch. 3-0. Misses, and that's going to be another RBI for Jake McNeil. The score is now 5-1, Stingers lead. We're here in the bottom of the second, 2 outs. And they're looking to make a pitching change here as Drew Williams is going to come in for Gunnar Whitelaw. Gunnar Whitelaw walked in a few runs there, but ultimately pitched well today for the Enforcers. Helped them to a game number 2 win to even the series. Stingers won game 1, 10-2. Off some great heroics from Peter McNeil, striking out quite a few batters, as well as hitting a grand slam left-handed. And the Enforcers winning game number 2 from bombs from both, from all 3, Drew Williams, Brock Playhouse, and Chase Winkler. As Drew Williams takes a few warm-up pitches here. Again, for those of you who are with us on TikTok, we do have a YouTube live stream going on. The link for that one is in the bio. Go check it out to see a cool way to watch a wiffle ball game unlike never seen before. Just misses high. 1-0 here to Brendan Davis. 1-0 the count. And that's in play, crushed, gone! Brendan Davis, his first home run of the 2021 season is going to be a grand slam for the Stingers. And the Stingers are now leading 8-1. And that's going to bring us to the top, or 9-1, excuse me, to the top of the third as they reach the run limit there. Incredible hit from Brendan Davis as he line drives that right over the fence out in center field. Stingers are now up 9-1 with a commanding lead here heading into the top of the third. They're 3 outs away from winning the series. Ultimately, the Enforcers have played well here today thus far without their ace, Jake Oliver, and team captain. But ultimately, the Enforcers were able to steal game number 2. As we're here in game number 3. 9-1 the score. No outs, top of the third. Up steps Chase Winkler. 0-1 the count as Chase swings out the outside pitch. Strike 2. Peter going back with that curve. Great Pitch number 2. 0-2 the count. Tries to go back to it again. Misses right there. 1-2 now the count. Swinging up top, and he's going to strike out Chase there. A great pitch. Great riser from Peter McNeil for yet another strikeout. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Stingers are leading 9-1. They're 2 outs away from taking the 3-game series, as Gunnar Whitelaw steps up to the plate. Oh, Whitelaw swinging at the riser. Foul tips that. 0-1 the count. 0-2 now the count to Whitelaw. Another great pitch from Peter McNeil. Starts him off quick 0-2. Peter going back to that curve. Just misses again. That's a dangerous pitch. Peter's curve starts in at the batter. Looks like it's going to hit you, but then it just hits the strike zone. Incredible. 1-2 the count here to Whitelaw. Strike 3, got him swinging. That's 2 strikeouts in the inning now for Peter McNeil, as the Enforcers are down to their last out here in game number 3. The Stingers are up 9-1. And Drew Williams steps up to the plate. Peter starts him off with a quick strike. Another riser is just working for him. He's got 2 pitches absolutely dominating. The riser and the curve. Just been great, as he goes ahead and throws that right over Drew Williams' head. Maybe I should stop giving him so many compliments. The 1-1. 2-1 now the count. 2-1, nobody on. Drew Williams is up, 2 outs, top of the 3rd. Forcers down to their last out here in game number 3. Just a bit inside. 3-1 now the count here to Drew Williams. Misses outside, and Drew's going to draw a walk. Here comes Brock Blehaus, who helped lead the Enforcers to a game number 2 win last game. Had an absolute blast up the left center tree. 1-0 the count. Blehaus says he's got a new strategy. We're going to see it right here. 1-0. 2-0 now the count. In play. Oh, just slices foul down the right, down the 3rd baseline. Would have been huge for the Enforcers, as they're down 8 runs here in the top of the 3rd.
I gave away my card.
1-2 the count. The 1-2 here to Brock Blehaus. Strike 3, got him looking. Strike 2, got him on the looking strike. Not actually. I apologize, I lost the count. Squad. Low ball right there. Runner on first. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. That pitch was low. Just missed him. There was a little bit of discussion about the count over there, but ultimately Brock Blehaus walks on that pitch. Runners on first and second. 2 outs, top of the 3rd. Forcers down to their last out, as Chase Winkler steps up to the plate. The 0-0 to Chase. Starts him off with that riser again, and it's going to be 0-1 quickly here. Just misses the inside corner. 1-1 the count. 1-1. 2-1 now the count. We got runners on first and second for the Enforcers. 2 outs, top of the third. The Stingers are up 9-1. That's a ball outside. In play, missed the tree, and Brennan's gonna make the play. It did hit the tree? I can barely see that. All right, well then, barely touches this tree. It's gonna be a foul ball. As Peter, I guess he saw the ball just nick a green leaf up there on the tree. As he's gonna walk him in. Walk him right there. Bases are gonna be loaded.
Okay, so it's like what we normally had? Honestly, I'm just gonna cut through here if you don't mind. Excuse me, guys.
Bases are loaded here in the top of the third. 2 outs. Gunnar Whitelaw to the plate. That's gonna hit the tree, so that's gonna be a foul ball. Starts him off 0-1. 0-1 the count here to Whitelaw. In play, off Peter's leg, and he's gonna tag Drew out. That's gonna be game. Gets Drew right there just before he crosses home plate, and the Stingers are gonna take that game 9-1 and win the 3-game series 2-1. Game number 1 off the heroics from Peter McNeil, 10-2 with a grand slam left-handed. Peter normally a right. The Enforcers took game number 2, 12-2, off home runs from Chase Winkler, Drew Williams, and Brock Playhouse. And the Stingers take game number 3 there, 9-1.